Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. Hong Kong film. People in Hong Xing, all subordinates are murderers. Lin Bin traveled through the Hong Kong comprehensive world in the 1990s and became a follower of Hong Xing's boss B.At the beginning, obtain the killing explosive weapon system. As long as you kill, you can earn killing points. Crazy explosive weapon. Quickly, Lin Bin discovered that all his subordinates were peerless villains. A cold-blooded and ruthless person. Feng Yu Xiu, who judges both high and low, as well as life and death. With a single punch, a powerful man. Li Wang. Cold-blooded and ruthless, violent and cruel. The Tony brothers. Four heavenly kings of prison. Hi, Huang Quan, Mount Taishan, and Bai Shen. From then on, Lin Bin grew step by step. Killing people and smuggling goods, reselling weapons, forming commercial groups, and proclaiming Burma as the emperor. In times of chaos, I am king. A group of ruthless people surrendered and knelt down, saying, I've seen a big shot. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 2 Lin Bin. Sir, I am good city. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just. What Lin Bin doesn't know is. Just after he left. Chen Haonan and others. Watching his back sneer out loud. Still dreaming of being a big brother, I can't be a big brother anymore. The unlucky guy in the bitter prison is missing a spot. Originally, there was nothing Mr. Jiang wanted to transport goods at all, only a game targeting Lin Bin. The purpose is to send him to prison for a lifetime, and the draw was also planned in advance. The one handed to Lin Bin was also specific, and everyone had already known about it. Only Lin Bin, this foolish guy, is still dreaming. The mountain chicken sneered and said, in 1988, Lan Zai Bin alone cut down a street in Wangzai. In 1992, Hong Xing fought in Dongxing and protected so many of his brothers. He killed many people in Dongxing and saved face for his brothers. In recent years, he has done so much for the club again, and his reputation has greatly increased. Mr. Jiang also appreciates him very much. If we don't get rid of him, Big B's position could be this kid's. Upon hearing this, Big B's expression darkened. No matter who it is, as long as it threatens their identity and status, they must die. That's how I came out to mess around. If I don't let others drive me down, my whole family will suffer. The mountain chicken saw Big B's increasingly gloomy expression. Also realizing that I said the wrong thing, quickly shut up. 9 o'clock at night. Fei Mountain. A rundown Santana. Stopped in a dense, uninhabited forest. This is the agreed-upon trading location. The car is still playing classic Cantonese songs from the 1990s. At this moment, Lin Bin was bored and leaning against the car window. Waiting for the arrival of the buyer. What's going on? Just I have been waiting for a long time, not to mention the buyer. Neither of them can be seen. At this moment, Lin Bin raised his hand and looked at his watch. 9:30. It has exceeded the trading time by half an hour. Lin Bin suddenly frowned. Something's wrong. The transactions between club members are not visible. The most important thing is timeliness. Being 10 minutes late on a regular basis is considered rare. At this moment, Lin Bin suddenly reacted. All of this may have been done by Big Boss B. Think of it here. Lin Bin quickly rolled up the car window. Step on the accelerator and prepare to leave this troublemaker. Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to start the car yet. At this moment. Brushing. Suddenly, headlights lit up around the highway. Make everything around shine brightly. Lin Bin couldn't open his eyes in the photo. As a result, police cars suddenly drove out one by one. Surround Lin Bin. Don't move. Poor man. Get out of the car. Hurry up. Lin Bin hasn't come down yet. Not far away, the door of a police car opened. 2 years ago, the man walked down. 2 people each holding a bottle of ice cream. One person is dressed in a suit and leather shoes. One person T-shirt and jeans. It is Chen Guizhong, the senior inspector of the inspection team, and his deputy Ma Jun. From the movie, Kill the Wolf, the 2 walked to the car window. Senior Inspector Chen Guizhong. Taking out handcuffs from his pocket and knocking on Lin Bin's car window, he said, "Pump the street, someone has reported that you are engaged in drug trafficking here. Get off the car." Lin Bin in the car spread out his hand and said, "Sir. I am a law-abiding citizen and will not break the law." Chen Guizhong sneered. He reached out and opened the car door. I carefully searched around the passenger seat. In the end, a bag of laundry detergent was found in a hidden corner. Good citizens. Chen Guizhong sneered as he weighed the laundry detergent in his hand and looked at Lin Wang. A good citizen doesn't have to leave the powder. If it were Hong Kong Island, we would all be good citizens like you. We poor people would all go down to make fish balls. Take it with you. Say it. Gestured to his subordinates to move Lin Bin away, took the toilet paper handed over by Ma Jun, and wiped his hands. Shake your head while walking. If there were no such clubs on Hong Kong Island, I'm afraid the public security would be 10,000 times better. Lin Bin sat silently in the police car. Looking at the scenery outside the car window, I quickly retreated. Then he sneered. Now he realized that all of this was done by Big Boss B. Time flies by. 2 years later, Wan Chai prison. All the people detained here are ancient troublemakers caught by the club fighting. In an inconspicuous room, a man sat on a chair and didn't know what he was thinking. This is exactly 2 years ago, when Big Boss B framed him. Capture Lin Bin from Kuyo. At this moment, bang 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 bang. The knocking sound pulled Lin Bin's thoughts back. Lin Bin Xuan looked over at the sound. It was not anyone else who knocked on his window with a baton. It was Chen Guizhong, Chen Sir, who personally brought him back 2 years ago. Lin Bin, who had watched countless Hong Kong films in his previous life, was not unfamiliar with Chen Guizhong. This is an inspector who doesn't play cards according to common sense, for the so-called justice in his heart and to seek revenge for his brothers. Dare not hesitate to use black to beat black, step by step turning oneself into an abyss. Lin Bin. What's wrong, Officer Chen? Why are you looking down on me again? What charges are you preparing to charge me? Chen Guizhong was not angry, but stood outside the prison room, looking down at Lin Bin from a high position. Lin Bin, you've been here for 2 years now. Have you ever thought about your future? Upon hearing these words, Lin Bin gave a bitter smile. The future. Then he self-deprecatingly said, being locked up in this haunted place. What's the future? Chapter 3. Explosive Soldier Sealing in Xiu. Killing Explosive Soldier Series. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Hear Lin Bin's words. Chen Guizhong leaned against the iron gate, seemingly muttering to himself. Not long ago, during the Hong Xing fire, one of our undercover police officers was chopped to death. He died miserably. His intestines flowed all over the ground. Unfortunately, he stayed at Red Star for a few years before finally getting a spot to watch. Chen Guizhong continued his conversation and looked at Lin Bin. I heard you're good at fighting. Now I can let you leave, but you need to be my informant to investigate a laundry detergent transaction worth billions. Lin Bin instantly understood the purpose of Chen Guizhong's search for him. I want him to go undercover. Ah, sir, so you want me to be this undercover agent for you? Chen Guizhong shrugged and said, whether you do it or not is up to you. I won't force you, but this is an opportunity to get you out of here. If you miss it, you won't know how long it will take. Lin Bin smiled bitterly. He is now. Is there still room for choice? What will happen if you don't listen? No need to say more. However, I still want to remind you that undercover agents are not just playing tricks. Once they are discovered, they can really lead to death. I had 6 undercover agents under my command before, but unfortunately, they were all discovered. Speaking of which, Lin Guozhong paused for a moment. I don't even have a whole body. As the saying goes, there's only one chance, and the choice is yours. If you complete the task, I will help you clean up and get rid of the club, work at the police station, and don't have to work hard in the future. How about that? Lin Bin doesn't want to be locked up here for a lifetime, he's still young. He didn't have a good life in his previous life, but he didn't want it to end like this. Lin Bin looked up and said helplessly, "Do you think I have a choice?" Chen Guozhong smiled. I gave him 3,000 yuan and a phone. Chen Guozhong continued, "Where's your phone? Take it and contact us. Use this money to buy yourself good clothes. It's not the same as before now, and the old-fashioned guy also values civility and politeness, wearing a suit and tie. You tidy up and I'll have Ma Jun escort you out later. The noon sunshine is a bit dazzling." Not to mention Lin Bin just came out of the prison. Feeling the warmth on his body, he instinctively reached out to block his eyes. In the past 2 years, he has not been able to see the light. Ma Jun beside him handed him a bottle of iced cola, and this release was also fully handled by Ma Jun. How does it feel to regain freedom? It's great, isn't it? Lin Bin took the cola and opened it. He looked up and drank half of the bottle. It's been too long since he drank this thing, and it's a bit spicy in his throat. Officer Ma, what is the current situation with Hong Xing Dabi? He has just been released from prison, and his biggest concern must be the boss who takes care of him the most. Now Big Boss B is already the big brother of Causeway Bay, and his business is even more booming than before, and he has also taken in many younger brothers and venues. People who betray their brothers live so well, there is really no place to reason in this world. Although you are currently an undercover agent for the police, I still want to remind you. To complete the undercover mission, you must at least become a spectator. If you have always been just a 49-foot kid, then we will also give up on you. People who have no practical value are not worthy of being left behind, and Lin Bin also knows this truth. He nodded silently. Take the cola in your hand and leave. Standing at the street corner, watching cars coming and going in the distance. Just at this moment. Didi, congratulations to the host for activating the killing explosive weapon system. Lin Bin was startled by the sound in his mind. Is this the essential golden finger for travelers? He has been wearing it for so many years, and he had already become disheartened about the system. Unexpectedly, he finally unlocked it. The system automatically recovers corpses for each kill and converts them into killing points based on the opponent's identity, status, and strength. Killing points can explode soldiers and purchase any items in the system mall. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the beginner gift pack. Do you want to activate it? The system that had been waiting for so long finally appeared, and Lin Bin did not hesitate. Open. Beginner gift pack opened, rewarding the host with Comprehensive Improvement Potion X1, Combat Proficiency X1, Junior Explosive Weapon X50, SSS Level Villain sealed in cultivation. Note: explosive soldiers are 100% loyal to their hosts. Feng Yu Xiu. The martial arts enthusiast in the movie is highly skilled. Specially looking for top performers in various aspects of the martial arts world. But he is ruthless, always killing the opponent after winning the martial arts competition, which determines both high and low, as well as life and death. Comprehensive improvement potions can enhance various physical qualities of the body. Host's overall physical fitness is being loaded. Host name: Lin Bin. Age: 26. Current identity: Hong Xing Club 49Z. Strength: 6. Ordinary person 7, speed. 6. Ordinary person 7, physical strength. 6. Ordinary person 7, perception. 6. Ordinary person 7. Chapter 1. Mixed Fish and Dragon. The hardest hit is Lin Bin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the early 1990s. Hong Kong Island. Causeway Bay. In a concealed warehouse. The sunlight scattered a few strands through the old wooden cracks. A short and chubby middle-aged man with a bald head was lecturing to a group of young people in front of him. This person is one of the 12 leaders of Hong Xing's hall, the leader of Causeway Bay. Jianghu people call him Big Boss B. You've been with me for 7 or 8 years now. It can be said that I watched you grow up. Across from Boss B. It's Chen Haonan, Shan Ji, De Tianer, Chow Pai, and others. Boss B spat out a cigarette ring and looked around at the little brothers who had been working with him since he was a child. These people. It can be said that he is his confidant, and he was able to win Causeway Bay thanks to these people. Especially when Chen Haonan was bullied by Liang Quan at school, he followed Big Boss B. Over the years, he has been taking care of Big B like his own father, allowing anyone to be killed. Chen Haonan was also the first to rush forward and refute who gave him a face. However, not everyone is so reassuring to him. Thinking of this, Big Boss B looked at a man in black standing in the corner of the warehouse with a somewhat meaningful expression. It's Lin Bin. The top hitter under Big Boss B. With Lin Bin present, even Chen Haonan. It can only be ranked second under the hands of Big Boss B. Just at this moment, Big Boss B's expression is also somewhat profound. Compared to the obedient Chen Haonan, Lin Bin has never been under the control of Big Boss B. Especially in recent years, Lin Bin has helped the club with many things and made many achievements. Even Mr. Jiang, the leader of Red Star, is very optimistic about Lin Bin. A little brother who stands out naturally arouses the vigilance and fear of Big Boss B. After all, this Causeway Bay. It was his Boss B who worked hard to get it. Little did they know that Big Boss B was looking at Lin Bin. Lin Bin also secretly speculated about him in his heart. But Lin Bin remained silent as usual, standing quietly in place. In fact, Lin Bin is a traveler. 5 years ago, after waking up from sleep, Lin Bin discovered that he had traveled through a world of integrated Hong Kong films. Various regions are mixed with fish and dragons, and their forces are intertwined. Hong Xing, Dong Xing, Liansheng, Zhongsini, and Hao Gang are all eyeing. And the original body was under the command of Hong Xing Big Boss B. Since Lin Bin crossed over, he has been following him in his work. Lin Bin was actually a modern person who traveled through the past. He is actually smarter than these ancient fools who haven't read for a few days. In addition, I dare to fight and fight, talk nonsense, have no parents to worry about, no friends, no money, one person is full, and the whole family is not hungry. It's just a bad life, there's nothing I dare not do. So he quickly became the top hitter under Big B, but unfortunately Big B was too biased towards Chen Haonan and his henchmen such as Shanji. Even though Lin Bin worked so hard, he did not receive any substantial rewards. Good things like rent collection and headquarters meetings are rarely profitable and face-saving, but it's Chen Haonan who goes. Bad things such as fighting and brawling often involve Lin Bin's hang. At this moment Boss B slowly spoke up and said, "Recently, Mr. Jiang has a very important batch of goods to sell. We need to guard against some inconspicuous people rushing to the streets to find trouble. So you need to choose a little brother from me to watch and deliver the things safely to Feiyu Mountain. After all, are you Mr. Jiang's own people? After the matter is completed, Mr. Jiang will definitely not treat you unfairly. 2 bars will be separated from Causeway Bay for management. When the time comes, we will need money and money. We will have a younger brother and a horse. Bi finished speaking and looked at the little brother in front of him, meaning who wants to come for this beautiful job. But they are less educated, not foolish. In this kind of business, they are most likely to encounter black eating and black eating. Maybe it's okay, they will lose their lives. I'm afraid there's a way to earn a life flower. Everyone lowered their heads and remained silent, the meaning was very clear. Bi looked at the situation and pretended to be disappointed, sighed and took out a sign from his pocket. Since nobody wants to go, let's draw lots. Whoever is lucky enough to draw the upper lot will go. Rubbing the things in his hand, Big B gave a cold smile with a somewhat profound expression. Big brother has already given orders, it's not appropriate if you don't listen. We rushed forward and began drawing lots. I see that all the signatures have been distributed. Boss B, okay, everyone, take out the sign. Next second. Lin Bin, Chenhaonan, Shanji, and others all raised their signatures in front of Boss B. Lin Bin's signature was clearly signed. Lin Bin remained silent. There was no expression of emotion. The mountain chicken excitedly shouted, "It's Lin Bin. Bin's eyes luck is good. After completing this task, he will be the big brother." Chenhaonan's Boss B on the side had an expected expression on his face, looking at each other with a smile. Boss B patted Lin Bin on the shoulder and said, "Ah Bin, I can't believe you're so lucky. You're getting signed, promoted, and made a fortune. When you come back this time, you'll become the big brother. If you want territory, if you want horses, even I have to look up to you a bit. The matter has come to this point, there is nothing to say." Lin Bin nodded and took the laundry detergent. "I know brother B." Then Big B took out a bag of laundry detergent and stuffed it into his hand. "Don't forget, tonight at 9 o'clock, Fei Mountain, take this with you and go prepare." Lin Bin takes the things. Turn around and leave, prepare in advance. Chapter 4. Lin Bin Returns. Boss B is dumbfounded. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Bin's physical fitness, at its peak 2 years ago, far exceeded that of ordinary people. It's just that places like Kuyo will be skinned once you enter. After being locked up for 2 years, even the most powerful person turned into a street thug. For example, Big Boss B subordinate, Big Head. Back then, he was also a fierce person, but he carried the blame for Big Boss B and spent several years in a bitter kiln. After coming out, I can only make a living by selling newspapers. We are providing hosts with proficiency in Muay Thai, self-defense techniques, Sanda, and dozens of martial arts moves. A warm current passed through his body, and Lin Bin felt hot all over, with a force swirling within him. The previously weak body is now filled with strength, and the muscles that disappeared in prison have reappeared. Now Lin Bin, it's not a problem to fight 10 times alone. Close your eyes, and suddenly various martial arts moves and defenses appeared in your mind. This is the martial arts move sent by the system. If you don't have any martial arts skills, just wait for someone to kill you. Originally, I didn't know Kung Fu, but I managed to make a name for myself by daring to fight and do. With the blessing of Kung Fu now my strength should have greatly improved. After drinking the comprehensive enhancement potion gifted by the system, I feel even stronger than twice. Open the system panel again, and as expected, the values have changed. Strength. 10, ordinary person 7, speed. 10, ordinary person 6, physical strength. 11, ordinary person 7, the system has gifted 50 junior explosive soldiers. Do you want to summon explosive soldiers and seal them for repair? Lin Bin has chosen no. Now on the street, he doesn't want to perform a big transformation. Meanwhile, Causeway Bay in a brightly lit bar. The people of Hong Xing are gathered here and holding a celebration banquet. A while ago, Big Boss B opened a new venue nearby, and his influence grew even stronger. In addition, over the years, I have been doing well and have earned a lot of money, and my reputation has also become increasingly prominent. Nature is overjoyed. Brother B, it's said in the martial arts world that it's better to follow a good boss than to be powerful. That's why we followed you, such a good boss. The mountain chicken raised a glass of wine and leaned towards Big Boss B like a dog's leg, smiling obsequiously. Chen Haonan saw that his younger brother was so hospitable that he couldn't let himself down. He quickly found a few auspicious words to say. Yes, Brother B, didn't some fortune tellers say it before? You are a wealthy person. Sure enough, ahaha. If we say that Chen Haonan is really doing well with Big B, he has everything he wants and has a high reputation in the martial arts world. Everyone has to give some face when they meet, after all, they are following Big B. You have to look at Buddha's face instead of monk's face. Now Chen Haonan has even stuttered like a stunning and beautiful horse. Although the stuttering person, as their name suggests, is a stuttering person who cannot speak fluently, they are truly speechless with round and large eyes. The face protein is white and tender, beautiful lying silkworms, and a bit baby fat. Mainly due to excellent physique, with a protruding front and a raised back, it is the type that appears thin when dressed and has flesh when undressed. Who doesn't envy Chen Haonan's good fortune? After flattery, a few people continued to drink. After 3 rounds of drinking, everyone just got drunk. The mountain chicken didn't know which tendon was wrong, but suddenly remembered Lin Bin. It's been 2 years now, and I don't know how rotten Bin is doing in prison. Did he eat dead mice? With so much laundry detergent, he'll be sentenced to at least 10 years. As soon as the name was given, the atmosphere at the scene immediately dropped to freezing point. Big B, who was originally happy, also turned cold. Don't mention anything unhappy, we're gathered here today just to be happy. Then he put down his glass heavily and the wine spilled out. The mountain chicken thought it was because he said the wrong thing that made Big B unhappy, and quickly stood up to apologize. Chen Haonan also pushed away his small stutter in his arms, wanting to plead for mercy for his brother. However, Big B waved his hand and gestured for everyone to sit down. Looking at the mountain chicken, on the second day of the day, Chow Pai and others sat down trembling before speaking. Liang Quan, this street thug. Surprisingly, he sent a ghost named Ba Guan to my Causeway Bay opening. Damn it, he crossed the boundary, you know. Everyone on Hong Kong Island knows that Ba Guan is the younger brother of Liang Quan, one of the 12 leaders of Hong Xing Hall. Ba Guan doesn't have much to be afraid of, but he is handsome and ruthless, with no bottom line in his character. So the reason why Ba Guan, this big pervert, can live so comfortably is also because Liang Quan is a backer behind his back. But Liang Quan and Big B have not dealt with each other, if it were not for Jiang Tiansheng's mediation. I don't know how many times the two have fought. And Ba Kwai Lai Causeway Bay opening. Obviously, it was instructed by Liang Quan, and Ba Guan wouldn't have the courage to do so. Seeing that Big B was really angry, Chen Haonan walked up and comforted him repeatedly. De B grabbed Chen Haonan and drank a glass of wine himself, saying, Haonan, in a few days, the Ba Guan Dead Street Bar will open. Can you bring me 100 brothers to cheer him up? Let him know well that Big B is not a soft persimmon, anyone can come and pinch it. After sweeping his venue, there's no need to keep him, just. De B made a gesture around his neck with his hand, meaning to directly ask Chen Haonan to do a closing gesture. When the time comes, he won't be afraid to tear his face off with Liang Quan, let alone make Haonan stand firm. He has a heart to support him. How could Chen Haonan not understand the meaning behind De B's words? He quickly picked up his glass and drank it to show his loyalty. For a moment, the atmosphere returned to a state of joy and harmony. Until one of Big Boss B's henchmen ran in panic and said, Brother B, Lin Bin, he's back. One word fell. There was some silence on the scene. Especially Big Boss B, his expression suddenly became gloomy. Chapter 5. 3 Taboos of Clubs. Go to Saw, where? You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Can you still come back from the street dead? The mountain chicken was the first to break the tranquility, pulling everyone back from their shocked emotions. In that place of Kaleo, even if people come out and don't die, they are also disabled, let alone Lin Bin bringing so many bags of laundry detergent. We have both stolen and stolen goods, and without any accidents, we will never see that weakling again in our lifetime. Unfortunately, there was an accident. Boss B also feels unbelievable. On Hong Kong Island, catching fans is not just for fun. At the very least, in these 10 years, Lin Bin will no longer think of the door to the bitter prison. But now that it's only been 2 years at best, how could this dead thug come out? Boss B had a gloomy face and wished that Lin Bin would have a car accident right away. Where is Lin Bin now? The horse boy who came in trembled and replied, he. As soon as he came back, Mr. Jiang invited him to the Shallow Bay Villa. Mr. Jiang sent someone to call and ask Brother B to come too. Boss B's face darkened to the climax after listening. Lin Bin, this scoundrel, had just been released from prison and didn't come to see his big brother. Instead, he went to see Jiang Tiansheng first. Make it clear not to give him face as a big shot, this bastard. Chen Haonan was also sweating anxiously at the moment, and Lin Bin's strength was much stronger than him. When he was there, Chen Haonan couldn't stand out, so he finally got in. He has been able to survive until now thanks to the recognition of Big Boss B. In terms of true abilities, he is not even worthy of lifting shoes for Lin Bin. Unfortunately, within a few days of the good times, Lin Bin came out, and everything about himself now as soon as he thought of this, he couldn't sit still and said, Brother B, what should I do? Boss B is the boss, so he immediately adjusted his mindset and smiled proudly. Why, he thought it was 2 years ago when he was the first to beat a young man. My boss B is now sitting steadily as a spokesperson in Causeway Bay, with money and horses. What's wrong with him as a newbie who just came out of prison? Everyone heard that it was indeed like this. Who on Hong Kong Island doesn't know about Big Boss B and his subordinate Chen Haonan now? Everyone wants to give them some thin noodles. Lin Bin is very good at fighting. What's the use of fighting? If you come out to fight, the most important thing is to have power. Where is Kaleo? He can just come out, but he may also be a useless person. Lack of fear. Chen Haonan still felt a bit uneasy and said, Brother B, what if Lin Bin talks nonsense in front of Mr. Jiang? Boss B also thought of this and a hint of malice flashed on his face, if he says something he shouldn't say. Boss B picked up his glass and shook it in his hand, then there's no need to talk anymore. His boss B likes talent, but unfortunately, he likes obedient dogs like Chen Haonan. Instead of being a difficult to control and biting wolf like Lin Bin. This is why he trained Chen Haonan as his successor. The reason for always being with me. Because Chen Haonan is obedient enough. At this point Boss B spoke coldly, alright, Shanji, come with me to Mr. Jiang's villa. I want to see what kind of trouble Lin Bin can cause if he doesn't have any territory or a little brother. The mountain chicken quickly stood up from the sofa and walked towards the door with the car key. A beautiful and sunny villa in Repulse Bay under the warm sunshine. Jiang Tiansheng was holding his horse while the popular actress Feng Ting was sunbathing and said, Ting, haven't your meals been bad lately? Feng Ting turned her head in confusion and said, No, how could you ask that? Jiang Tiansheng pinched Feng Ting and then smiled, saying, Why doesn't the hand feel right? Feng Ting reacted and her face instantly blushed. She coquettishly hammered Jiang Tiansheng and said, Oh, you're so annoying. Then Jiang Tiansheng laughed heartily. The sunlight shone on Feng Ting's graceful figure, outlining the graceful curves of her entire body. Undoubtedly, she is the current Hong Kong Island actress who turns red to purple. Beauty is also unique, with a variety of charm and a strong feminine charm. When the two were playing and laughing, Mr. Jiang, Lin Bin is here. A voice sounded out of place. But Jiang Tiansheng had no displeasure on his face. Because the person who came was none other than General Hong Xing and the white paper fan Qin Yao. Qin Yao is not just a military commander, but also the second in command of a society. Jiang Tiansheng's confidant is unable to attend meetings on weekdays due to business matters. All of them are handled by Qin Yao, and places with Qin Yao may not necessarily have Jiang Tiansheng. But wherever there is Jiang Tiansheng, there must be Qin Yao. So many people jokingly refer to Qin Yao as the shadow of Jiang Tiansheng. Seeing the scene of Jiang Tiansheng and Feng Ting in front of him, Qin Yao obediently lowered his head and didn't look. The boss's woman is not blind. After the young brother comes out of the prison, the dragon head must personally receive him, which is Hong Xing's rule. This is to appease people's hearts, which means that if you have contributed to the club will definitely not forget you. What a great honor it is for the dragon head to personally receive you. Usually, these guys don't even have the right to meet any of the hall masters. Jiang Tiansheng let go of Feng Ting in his arms and signaled for her to leave. Feng Ting was also very interested and stood up to leave, saying, "Simon, I'll go blow my hair first." Jiang Tiansheng nodded. Qin Yao secretly scanned Feng Ting's figure with his spare light. Thinking to himself, Jiang Tian's life is really good. He has a capable old bean and such a decent horse. However, Qin Yao can only think about it. The 3 taboos of mixing clubs are hooking up with sister.in.law, wearing red shoes, and washing horse olives. Go to Saw, but she ranks first. At this moment, follow Qin Yao to Lin Bin in the villa. He also walked up to Jiang Tiansheng and said, "Hello, Mr. Jiang. Seeking fresh flowers." Chapter 6. Jiang Tiansheng. You look righteous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Bin nodded slightly at Jiang Tiansheng and said, "Hello Mr. Jiang." Jiang Tiansheng nodded with a smile when he saw Lin Bin being so sensible. Standing up and walking over to him, he patted his shoulder as a sign of encouragement and said, okay, just come back." He smiled again and said, "You have suffered these years. Did you hear from AB that you were imprisoned for the club?" Lin Bin nodded. Did not expose the lies of Big Boss B. Just spoke up and said, "You should come out and mess around." Jiang Tiansheng nodded in appreciation. "What else do you want to say?" A sound came from outside the door, "Mr. Jiang. We're late. We're really sorry." It was the late arrival of Big Boss B and Chen Haonan and their group. Boss B walked up to Lin Bin's side. Patted Lin Bin's shoulder. It's as if it's not him who framed Lin Bin and imprisoned him, as if he's still the big brother of the club. Boss B pretended to be angry and said, "Ah Bin. Why didn't you say hello to me in advance when you came out? Are you still treating Brother B as a brother? I, as the boss, have to find someone to arrange for beautiful women to lead the way. Luxury cars lined up to welcome you." Boss B shook his head as he spoke. There is indeed an uncontrollable chill in the eyes. Lin Bin still stood quietly in place, accepting the hypocrisy of Big Boss B without saying a word. Just the eyes are getting colder and colder. Jiang Tiansheng sat on the chair and gestured to Feng Ting with his eyes. Feng Ting understood and picked up the wine bottle and walked to Lin Bin's side. I bent down and poured him a glass of wine. The mountain chicken on the side saw Feng Ting's eyes staring straight, and whispered to the big shot B beside him. "Brother B, Mr. Jiang is also too handsome. He has an excellent figure." Boss B knew that the mountain chicken couldn't move when it saw a woman, so he sneered and smiled. "Get along well, have you become a big brother? What kind of horse have you not? I'll find you 100 more beautiful ones." Jiang Tiansheng finished the wine in his glass. Chong Qin Yao waved his hand. Qin Yao brought up a large suitcase that looked very heavy, and it was a bit difficult for him to carry it. Jiang Tiansheng pointed to the box and said to Lin Bin, Bin, there is 1 million in the box, take it. You've also worked hard inside these past 2 years. You can use this money to do some business. If you need help, just let me know and I will introduce you to some business partners. Lin Bin took the box, but did not leave. But he said to Jiang Tiansheng, Mr. Jiang, thank you for your kindness. It's just that I don't want to leave the club, I still want to stay in Hong Xing. The words fell. The crowd on site appeared somewhat surprised. These days, Kuyo Zai has accepted the gift money from the club as compensation. Don't mention anything about squatting for the club anymore. Then there was washing hands and retiring from the martial arts world. I won't ask about matters in the martial arts world again. For a mischievous young man who has suffered injuries from being imprisoned, it is undoubtedly the best outcome. It's impossible to return to the club again. Suffering from injuries, it's no different from being a waste. So no one has ever refused the settling in fee and the request to leave the club. After all, leaving the club, taking a large sum of money, and becoming ordinary people again. How many people are in high demand? Boss B was the first to react. He walked up to Lin Bin with hypocrisy and then advised, Bin, you've been inside for 2 years. It's not a good place inside. Even if a top-notch red stick goes in, it's useless to squat for 2 years. Moreover, now Hong Kong Island is not the time for us to conquer the world. In the past 2 years, many fierce people have emerged, which you cannot compare with. Boss B took another puff of his cigarette and exhaled a cigarette ring, saying, how many people want to take the money and do business, but they can't even ask for it. If you continue to stay in the club, it's good to go to the palace twice, but you're afraid. He paused for a moment and then said, I'm afraid, my life is gone. Jiang Tiansheng on the side nodded in agreement. I thought Lin Bin should have surrendered too. As a result, his face became serious. Looking carefully at everyone present, he said, I don't want to retire from the martial arts world. I still want to continue living. I still insist on seeing Lin Bin. Jiang Tiansheng frowned. I feel a bit unhappy inside. Later, Jiang Tiansheng asked, the most important thing when you come out to play is to be able to fight. You have been inside for 2 years. Can you still fight now? Lin Bin nodded. See the situation. Jiang Tiansheng waved his hand at the pheasant and said, Pheasant, give Lin Bin a try. Shanji is a subordinate of Big Boss B. Like Chen Haonan, he is the right-hand man of Big Boss B. In Hong Xing, he can also be considered a playboy who can be called by name. Upon hearing this, the mountain chicken nodded at Jiang Tiansheng and said, I understand, Jiang Tiansheng. Although the mountain chicken has heard of Lin Bin's fame, it is said that Lin Bin fought with a pair of fists against the world in the early years, which was a crucial battle for several Tang Kos in Hong Xing. All of them were fought by Lin Bin. But time has passed and the Shenzhen Pass has been abandoned in the bitter kiln for 2 years. Everyone present also thinks the same in their hearts. Boss B stepped forward and patted the mountain chicken on the shoulder, deliberately reminding him, chicken, just click until you're done. We're all brothers, don't go too far. That being said, he still gave the pheasant a wink. Shanji knows for sure, Big Boss B is asking him to take action and absolutely cannot keep Lin Bin. With the support of Big Boss B. The mountain chicken was obviously more confident, looking at Lin Bin who had been silent all along. 2 years ago, you were really good at fighting, but now that you have just been released from prison, you are no longer capable, he sneered. Say it. A mountain chicken that doesn't talk about martial arts, take the lead when Lin Bin doesn't react. Jumping up and charging towards Lin Bin, he was about to succeed and his fist was about to hit Lin Bin's face. Lin Bin grabbed the chicken's wrist and quickly pulled it backwards, causing the chicken to pounce forward. Chapter 7. The mountain chicken becomes a waste chicken. Jiang Tiansheng's rebellion. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Lin Bin slapped the mountain chicken firmly on the back. The shaking mountain chicken stumbled a few times. As soon as the mountain chicken stood firm, it turned around and kicked towards Lin Bin's upper body. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to be proud yet. Lin Bin suddenly flew up and kicked the pheasant 5 meters away. The mountain chicken fell all over and lay on the ground, unaware of what had happened. After realizing that he had been kicked away by Lin Bin, he was furious. Being beaten like this by someone who has just been released from prison. How does he get around when it's rumored? In order to regain face, the mountain chicken can no longer control any rules or morals in the martial arts world. I secretly took out a dagger from my pocket and prepared to falsely accidentally stab Lin Bin to death. When the person dies, Jiang Tiansheng won't do anything to him for the sake of Big Boss B. At this thought, his face showed a fierce light and he rushed towards Lin Bin. Lin Bin had already seen the dagger hidden in his hand, with a cold expression in his eyes, as he leaned towards the calf of the mountain chicken. The mountain chicken wanted to dodge, but Lin Bin acted too quickly and was still kicked. The mountain chicken didn't hold on and half knelt on the ground. It took out a dagger from its arms and stabbed Lin Bin's thigh. As a result, Lin Bin held down the hand of the pheasant with his back hand, and the pheasant let go after the pain. The dagger slipped from his hand, and Lin Bin quickly picked it up and plunged it into the arm of the mountain chicken. Ah! With a scream from the pheasant, blood spurted out. Seeing his brother like this, Chen Haonan naturally didn't want to stand up and shouted at Lin Bin, "What are you doing, rotten Bin?" Lin Bin turned around and looked coldly at Chen Haonan, who was momentarily suppressed by Lin Bin's powerful aura. Damn it, why is he still so imposing after 2 years of being a jerk? Lin Bin pulled the dagger out of the mountain chicken's arm. Another scream of agony. Lin Bin handed a dagger to Chen Haonan and said, "Look, it's something your brother can't afford to play with for now." Then he threw the dagger fiercely onto the ground. Chen Haonan wanted to rush forward, but was grabbed by Big Boss B. Losing means losing, not only unwilling to win, but also wanting to back out. The competition was proposed by Jiang Tiansheng. If it gets up, it's just not giving Jiang Tiansheng face. I can't afford to lose and still plot against others. It's rumored that his boss B still wants to be a good person. Boss B pulled at Chen Haonan with a gloomy face and said, "Haonan, you go to the hospital with the Tianer to take the mountain chicken for treatment first." Big Brother spoke up, and Chen Haonan could only give Lin Bin a fierce glance. Helping the pheasant leave, one on the left and one on the right with the Tianer. Boss B looked at Lin Bin who had just finished the competition with the mountain chicken. His face remained unchanged, without a single drop of sweat or even a gasp for breath. Boss B cursed inwardly, having been squatting for 2 years, he is still so powerful when he comes out of the street. Jiang Tiansheng really appreciates this little brother in his heart. He just came out of the prison before. Either suffering from illness or lacking fighting spirit, watching it makes one feel annoyed. Lin Bin is different. Not only did he actively propose to stay in the club, but he was also so capable. The mountain chicken lost even with a dagger, it's a rare talent. Seeing this scene, Jiang Tiansheng applauded and said, all right, Kuyaozi is so fierce when he comes out. You, Abin, are the only one on Hong Kong Island. But when you just returned, you were sent out to fight and kill. Those who didn't know thought that we, Hong Xing, treated our little brother harshly. Okay, I'll arrange a good job for you. Are you interested in working as a driver for your sister.in.law? Lin Bin nodded and said, everything is arranged by Mr. Jiang. Feng Ting on the side was also very satisfied with this arrangement. She is Jiang Tiansheng's woman. If not guaranteed, Jiang Tiansheng's enemies will come to him for trouble, and on the surface, Lin Bin is her driver. In fact, it is secretly protecting Feng Ting's safety. Just now, Lin Bin had a competition with the mountain chicken and she also saw it. Lin Bin made a crisp and decisive move, and it looked like he could fight very well. There is no problem protecting her. Of course, Jiang Tiansheng has a deeper reason. That is to facilitate monitoring Lin Bin's every move. Meanwhile, the big shot B on the side had a somewhat unpleasant expression, and Lin Bin worked as a driver for Feng Ting. Feng Ting is with Jiang Tiansheng every day, so Lin Bin can see Jiang Tiansheng every day. A tower near the water wins the moon first, isn't it that there are more opportunities to rise up? But Mr. Jiang has already made a decision. I can't say anything more myself. Come on, eat watermelon. At this point, Chen Yao, the military strategist of Hong Xing society, brought a cut large watermelon. Jiang Tiansheng waved and gestured for everyone to sit down and eat watermelons. Chen Yao is Jiang Tiansheng's own person, equivalent to Hong Xing's great butler. I have always been by Jiang Tiansheng's side on weekdays. It can be understood as Jiang Tiansheng's spokesperson, subsequently. Everyone sat around. Jiang Tiansheng picked up a watermelon and put it into his mouth, looking at Boss B. Do you have any plans recently? Boss B's face showed a fierce light and said, Mr. Jiang, I'm planning to take down the street thug from Guan recently. He actually became a fan on Lockhart Road in Causeway Bay. Now the road is spreading like wildfire, saying that don't follow the rules. Hong Xing has never allowed fans to follow, which is a universally recognized rule. But Guan actually openly became a fan on Hong Xing's territory. Who doesn't know that Guan is the sworn brother of Liang Quan? Recently, Liang Quan's business has been getting bigger and bigger. It's hard not to say if there's any involvement in the flower business behind it. Sure enough, Big Boss B proposed again. Recently, Liang Quan has also been secretly stealing fans, damaging Hong Xing's reputation. And the club has rules. Each person involved in the conversation does not interfere with the other party's match, so Liang Quan walks to Causeway Bay with fans. Damn it, I'm not giving him face as a big shot, and I don't care about Jiang Tiansheng. Jiang Tiansheng frowned at the words and remained silent for a long time. At this time Chen Yao said timely, Mr. Jiang, Liang Quan has been active in various places recently and has bribed many people. I want everyone to support him. He wants to be the leader. The words fell. Jiang Tiansheng's face finally turned icy in an instant. Hong Xing can only have the surname Jiang. The position of the dragon head is Jiang Tiansheng's counterscale. He doesn't care about anything else, but Liang Quan has his mind set on him. Allowing him this time, the position of the faucet will be unknown next time. And this damn pretty Quan has repeatedly refused to give him face. Confronting Jiang Tiansheng at the conference. We need to teach him a lesson, otherwise how can he become a leader in the future? After contemplation, Jiang Tiansheng finally nodded to Boss B and said, I want to teach this Guan a lesson, but we still need to do things cleanly, otherwise it won't look good when people talk behind our backs about our internal strife in Hong Xing. Chapter 8 Lin Bin. I go and kill Guan, the territory. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boss B nodded clearly. Even if Liang Quan goes too far, it's also Hong Xing's own fault. Hong Xing's matter will be resolved privately by Hong Xing. Shouldn't it be a joke for other clubs like Liansheng, Zhongsini, and Dongxing to make trouble outside? Liang Quan, the leader of the hall, is so indifferent to Jiang Tiansheng. He can't even hang his face on Jiang Tiansheng's face. Jiang Tiansheng pushed the fruit platter in front of everyone and smiled, saying, B, I've been feeling a lot of back pain lately. People really don't like old age. We are both elderly people now, and we should take a break. Jiang Tiansheng glanced at the group of younger brothers around him and said, we should also give young people some opportunities. Hong Xing's future still depends on these younger generations. After hearing this, Chen Haonan and everyone knew that Jiang Tiansheng was going to choose a few promising people from among them, deliberately keeping his chest straight. Lin Bin casually looked up at Chen Haonan Mountain Chicken, who was competing to show off, and shook his head disdainfully. Jiang Tiansheng paused for a moment and said, "Who among you is willing to go and kill Guan?" Speaking, he pushed the fruit tray forward. "Everyone, look at me, I look at you," they all understand Mr. Jiang's meaning. Whoever picks up the watermelon is the one who takes on the responsibility of killing Guan. This is a rare opportunity, as long as Guan is killed, not to mention his position will be elevated in Mr. Jiang's heart. The rewards given by the gang are also considerable, with horses and territory. The risk of chopping Guan is a bit high, after all, he still has so many subordinates. But high investment and high return. Chen Haonan was about to step forward and pick up the watermelon, but Lin Bin took the lead. Lin Bin walked up to Jiang Tiansheng and picked up a watermelon, saying, "Mr. Jiang, I'll go." Not only Jiang Tiansheng was a bit surprised. Even the big shot Chen Haonan looked at Lin Bin in surprise and said, "You." It's not that everyone has any doubts about Lin Bin's own strength, it's just that Guan is too strong. Even though Lin Bin just had a game with the mountain chicken and won it beautifully. But that can only prove that he can still fight. But now is no longer an era where anyone who can fight better has status. Those who come out to work these days must have influence. Otherwise, it's just a little loser. Guan is not only a notorious ruthless person, but also afraid that Chen Haonan will lose in singles. Moreover, there is a group of young brothers gathered under his command. Everyone is an elite fighter. Otherwise, Liang Quan is not a fool. How could he rest assured that Guanlai's Boss B's field would attract fans? Isn't that seeking death? Even if Chen Haonan takes the mountain chicken and they still have to borrow dozens of little brothers from Big Boss B. Lin Bin went alone to find Guan like this, and even if someone beats his own mother, he shakes his head. It's simply beyond our capacity. Although Big Boss B thinks this is a good opportunity to make Lin Bin suffer and lose face. I really wish Lin Bin could provoke Guan now. It's best for Guan to chop him to death again. But in front of Mr. Jiang, we still need to maintain the image of the boss. Boss B pretended to be friendly and patted Lin Bin's shoulder, saying, "Ah Bin, if you can't get rid of Guan's deadly street beating." Thinking of the scene of Lin Bin's violent corpse on the street. Boss B was about to burst out laughing, but as Lin Bin thought for himself, he said, "If Guan runs away, he will be very suspicious. It's almost impossible to get close to him again in the future. And by then, Hong Xing will be lost to the adults. If things get messed up, we will be discussed by other clubs. Don't say Mr. Jiang can't lift his head, we hall masters are also too embarrassed to go out." Lin Bin looked up and of course knew that Big Boss B was putting pressure on him, which indirectly told Jiang Tiansheng. Lin Bin is not good, it will make the club lose face. Sure enough, after Big Boss B finished speaking, Jiang Tiansheng fell silent and was also thinking about the feasibility of the matter. Seeing Mr. Jiang hesitating, Big Boss B quickly added fuel to the fire and said, "Ah Bin, you just came back. Don't be in such a hurry to stand out. I know you've been inside for 2 years and have some dissatisfaction, but you've been in a hurry to do such a big thing since you first came out. Mr. Jiang's suggestion doesn't appeal to you. Why, whose seat do you want?" Sure enough, as soon as he finished speaking, Jiang Tiansheng's sharp gaze swept over. Lin Bin knew that Big Boss B was digging a hole for him again. If we don't make everyone feel at ease, I'm afraid we will also be prevented from going to find Guan ourselves. After pondering for a moment, Lin Bin said, "I am willing to take down Guan. If successful, Guan's place belongs to me." Boss B sneered, "Just came out with such a big appetite, can you eat in such a closed place?" Lin Bin could see everyone's mockery. "If I fail, I am willing to withdraw from Hong Xing and the martial arts world from now on." Chen Haonan sneered after listening. Lin Bin, this rotten guy, is simply going to die. He has no money or anyone, and going to have sex is just a pipe dream. A little brother who is light and closed can kill Lin Bin, who will still compete with Chen Haonan when the time comes. Then Chen Haonan put on a grand and square look and said, "We are all brothers. Don't hurt our harmony just because of one Guan. Since Bin has said so, then Bin should go. Just now I was fighting against the pheasant, and everyone has seen it. It's still so fierce, there must be no problem taking down Guan." Boss B also nodded in agreement with Chen Haonan's words. Heart. But they are already planning what clothes to wear for Lin Bin's funeral. Chapter 9 Boss B. To get out and get around, one must have influence. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Boss B was happy in his heart, but he couldn't show it. Bin. Can't you really go alone to find Guan? You just came out of it, how about this? I'll go back and choose a few clever guys for you. Take it with you, there must be no mistake. After speaking, he affectionately patted Lin Bin's back, accompanied by a kind smile on his face. A perfect image of a caring boss who cares about his younger brother. No matter how many people have been willing to sacrifice their lives for him in these years. Boss B has a way of winning people's hearts. Actually, it's just because Jiang Tiansheng is here, so let's show it to him. It's not up to him to decide how many people to give back. Jiang Tiansheng looked at Big B with appreciation and then smiled faintly. Raise the glass in your hand and say, "Wish Bin all the best." Cheers. Everyone also raised their own glasses and leaned together. Cheers. The seemingly heroic toast has actually determined the life and death of Guan, as well as the life and death of Lin Bin. Anyway, the two of them can only live one. At the drinking party, it determines a person's life or death. This is the club, this is the Gafuzi. The night of the second day the moonlight is hazy, and street lamps illuminate the city. As night approaches, some special shops also begin to operate. For example, a beautiful sister standing under a street lamp waving at you. For example, the special services provided by foot wash shops. On Lockhart Road in Causeway Bay, lights and wine are still bustling. In an inconspicuous alley of the glorious bathing center it is the place that Guan loves to haunt the most, but unfortunately, this should be the last time he appears here in his life. Lin Bin waited left and right, but did not wait for the dozen or so little brothers mentioned by Big Boss B. He knew that Big Boss B deliberately tripped him up. Under helplessness. Wrinkled his brow, took out the phone, and called Big Boss B. At this moment. In the night bar of Causeway Bay the lights flickered, and men and women on the dance floor were frantically twisting their bodies. Boss B brought his most obedient dogs, Chen Haonan Mountain Chicken in his group. Enjoying in the bar. Big Boss B is holding several white girls in his arms who have exceptional figures and looks. This batch of new goods has just arrived, and the person in charge immediately called Big Boss B. This batch is still in its infancy. Boss B quickly brought them over. But when it comes to being top-notch, it still has to be Chen Haonan's girlfriend stuttering. Her skin is fair, her figure is convex and perky, and she is thin and curvaceous. Especially under the illumination of the light, the little stutter's watery eyes made people itch. Not to mention which stunning face to match. It's just a big weapon in the eyes of men, okay. Sometimes Big Boss B envies Chen Haonan for his good fortune and having such a decent horse. Do. Hello. After a few phone calls. Big Boss B's impatient voice came out, mixed with a few coquettish sounds from women. Impatiently, he said, "Hey. Who is it?" Lin Bin's voice came from the microphone. "Brother B, it's me. Promise my little brother. I've been waiting for half an hour already." The moment Big Boss B heard his voice, he frowned and said, Bin. You have already arrived. I'm really overwhelmed by my busy schedule. My subordinates have all gone out to collect protection fees from the pheasants. You know, without bringing more people, some merchants are not obedient. Look, I forgot to leave you manpower. You can't do it alone. You really can't do it. Give up. Don't lose your life just for the sake of being shut off. After speaking, he hung up the phone and didn't leave Lin Bin for a second. It looks like it's for Lin Bin's good. Persuade Lin Bin not to suffer losses. But Lin Bin knew that collecting protection fees was all an excuse. Listen to the voice over there, Big Boss B is leading a few people to high pie. I clearly don't want to give Lin Bin any hands. He is truly a hypocritical and righteous gentleman. After hanging up the phone, Big Boss B sneered and clearly looked down on Lin Bin. Little stuttered and turned his head to look at the mountain chicken and Chen Haonan sitting next to him. Nan. Male brother, you and the mountain chicken are not. Here, are you? Why did Brother B say you went to collect protection fees? He whispered. Chen Haonan looked at his girlfriend's innocent expression and smiled. You're too foolish. Brother B doesn't want to send him a hand. Little stuttered and nodded clearly. Just Chen Haonan is a bit worried. After all, Lin Bin is really capable of playing. He asked the big shot B with some unease, Brother B, if Lin Bin really kills Guan, then the venue we get will fly away. To be honest, Luo Kadao must be reluctant to give up such a valuable venue. It is evident to everyone how much money Guan has earned over the years by relying on that venue. Chen Haonan originally intended to take over this venue and make a lot of money. If it were really taken by Lin Bin, it would be a huge loss. Boss B smiled nonchalantly and said, what's the use of being able to fight? What's the use of being fierce? To get out and get around, you need to have power and background. What is Lin Bin, little rascal? Chapter 10 Three-piece set of ancient puzzles. Eating and firefighting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then Big Boss B picked up the glass on the table and drank it all in one gulp. His face was gloomy and fierce. Want to climb onto my head? It's impossible. I've sent someone to notify Guan that someone is going to chop him off tonight. He is so desperate, he will definitely take precautions. Maybe now he's waiting for Lin Bin with dozens of little brothers. Lin Bin, don't blame me if you go down. You can only blame yourself for your poor fortune. After drinking, Big Boss B didn't forget to appease Chen Haonan. What's the rush? Lin Bin definitely can't take that piece of land. The top priority is to eliminate Lin Bin first, and there will be plenty of opportunities in the future to take Luo Kadao. No wonder Big Boss B can be the boss. Chen Haonan, who was being deceived, came up with one set after another. Chen Haonan thought about it too. Lin Bin is gone, and no one can shake his position anymore. Thinking of this, Chen Haonan smiled again and said, it's still Brother B's clever move of borrowing a knife to kill someone. Despite that, Chen Haonan couldn't help but feel a bit more wary of Big Boss B. No matter what Lin Bin said, he used to be a subordinate of Big Boss B. As a result, Boss B was willing to secretly contact his enemies to take care of his subordinates. Just came out of the hospital on the side. The mountain chicken with plaster on its arm still agrees. Yeah. Brother B. With you leading us, we will definitely get better and better, ha ha ha. Ouch. The amplitude of the movement was too large, pulling on the wound and causing the mountain chicken to grin in pain. Boss B looked at the mountain chicken helplessly. Actually, at the beginning, he also valued Lin Bin very much. Who doesn't want their subordinates to be fierce? Unfortunately, Lin Bin is not as obedient as Chen Haonan. Luo Kadao. After finishing the call with Boss B, Lin Bin sneered. He had long known that when Big Boss B said it was for his younger brother, he meant it was for Jiang Tiansheng to listen to. To show how much this big brother cares for his subordinates. In fact, I really wish Lin Bin could survive on his own. Thinking of Lin Bin also gave a cold smile. Fortunately, he has a system. Lin Bin's face darkened, confirming that there was no one else in the alley. Select the 50 explosive soldiers that were rewarded before manifestation. At that time, the system gave explosive weapons. It comes in handy. Subsequently, dozens of explosive soldiers instantly appeared in the alley. And among these soldiers, step out of a short man with slightly disabled legs. It is the master of Kung Fu who is granted the title of cultivator. Both high and low, and life and death are determined. He is a true bloodthirsty demon, killing without blinking an eye. Feng Yu Xiu walked up to Lin Bin, clasped his fists and bent down, with the soldiers behind him also bowing their heads. Have you met Mr. Bin? Lin Bin nodded in satisfaction, using such exquisite strength on Ba Guan's body. Bashu, you have also found a way to die. Inside the bathing center, Ba Guan was lying on the chair watching the beautiful woman fix his feet. Ba Guan is a person who meets a scavenger on the street, as long as he has two different looks. We also need to get them hands on it. He looked at his hand while being dishonest, using his just poked foot to caress the beautiful woman's face. The beautiful woman felt extremely nauseous in her heart and had to endure the service barrier. Ba Guan has long received news from Boss B that someone is coming to kill him today. No matter why Big Boss B sends him messages, whether it's true or false, it's important to save his life first. Just in case, manpower has already been arranged on the first and second floors. Even a fly cannot fly in. Ba closed and peacefully lay on the chair, enjoying the beauty's massage service on the back. There are several little brothers standing beside me, constantly scanning the surroundings with their eyes to see if there is any danger. Ba Guan proudly said, have you arranged everything? The younger brother nodded, indicating that everything had been arranged properly. Our people were all upstairs and downstairs. Ba Guan's face turned cold and he said, I want to see who is so overconfident and dares to trouble me with Ba Guan. I'm really getting impatient living. I'll send him down to see the Prince of Yen now. As long as someone comes today, hurry up, said the younger brother in a deep voice. He gestured with a knife around his neck and said, do it all for me. The younger brother nodded and said, yes. Ba Guan lay down satisfied and wiped the little girl next to him with his hand. Be strong, I was so tired from work last night. The little girl blushed with embarrassment, tears swirling around her eyes. I laughed heartily as I watched. He just doesn't know. Death he has already arrived behind him. Downstairs, Lin Bin pushed open the door of the bathing center. Ba Guan's younger brother quickly stepped forward and said, what are you doing? Get out. Private premises are closed today. Unfortunately, my little brother hasn't touched a single strand of Lin Bin's hair yet. I was caught by Feng Yu Xiu behind me. Pop. With a crisp sound, Feng Yu Xiu had already pressed his younger brother against his leg and exerted his hands downwards. My little brother's ribs broke in response. Puff, a mouthful of blood spurted out, and then it was sealed by Yu Xiu and thrown aside like a dead dog. The other little brothers behind rushed up and pulled out sticks, knives, and guns when they saw this scene. Form a circle and surround them in groups.